Today we're going to talk about a drop in crime around the world. We're going to talk about a new scientific discovery that could change the recycling industry. We're going to talk about a Chicago pizzeria and what they're doing for medical staff. All that and more on the Daily Good News. Cue it! What's up, everybody? It's your girl Jessica, aka J Hart, and I am your host of the Daily Good News. Before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get notified every day when a new episode drops. Now, first and foremost, let's do a quick vibe check. Vibe check, 1 2 1 2. How you doing? How you feeling? Take a moment to be present with me and let's take a deep breath in. Now let's get right to the good news. A group of neighbors at an apartment building in Berlin have developed a food and medication delivery service to help their high-risk and elderly neighbors that live in their building. They created a website they call Shop For Me. Their neighbors are able to place orders and then they can pay with an honor system.
Basically offer shopping services for at-risk groups that live here in this building and for families to mean that they don't have to go to the local shops in the neighborhood. And our tool coordinates those shopping trips to a drugstore, a pharmacy and 3 local supermarkets so those people can maintain their self-isolation and we sort out their shopping for them.
This is extremely helpful for the elderly and high risk because they don't have to leave their home, but they can still get food, they can still get the medication that they need. So shout out to those neighbors in Berlin who saw an opportunity to help and went for it. Now I want to talk about crime. There has been a huge decrease in crime all around the world thanks to the lockdowns that are in place. Now specifically I want to go to Chicago because Chicago is known as a city that has extremely high crime rates. Right now, the drug arrests in Chicago have dropped 42% in this last month. Overall crime in Chicago has dropped 10% since this COVID-19 has begun. Not just in Chicago, but around the world, crime levels are extremely low, and it's all thanks to this lockdown. I want to talk about puppies. Who doesn't love a good puppy? Where's my puppy? In the US, people are adopting puppies at an extremely high rate to have a furry friend to keep them company while they're safe at home. A psychology professor at Washington State University says that being around dogs makes us feel good. And that is absolutely correct. I personally love my little furry friend. He is the sweetest little thing. I just saw him walk on by. This is my furry friend. His name is Remix. He was a rescue. We met a couple of years ago and he is just the sweetest little sweetie pie. Dogs are known to be great for anxiety, for stress, for depression, PTSD. Having a furry companion is really amazing, and now that everybody's home, they realize, maybe now's the time to finally get the dog that they always wanted. People are now on waiting lists to foster dogs because the demand is so high. So everybody wants a dog now to have a friend to play with, and it is a good time to get a puppy because you're home, you can train them, and they're a lot of fun. So if you don't have a dog and you've thought about getting a dog, I recommend it, not just because of now, I recommend it in general. They're just great companions to have. Now, when you've been going on your daily walks around your neighborhood, you may or may not have seen some rainbows in people's windows. People are hand painting rainbows and leaving them in their windows for children and their neighbors for when they're walking as a sign of hope that we're gonna get through this, we're all in this together, and this is happening around the world. People are leaving rainbows in their windows all around the world. It is a beautiful sign of hope, and the rainbows give us a sense of community. It reminds us that we do have a bright future ahead of us. Although we may be going through a dark time right now, the light will be there and we will make it through, and we are in this together. There's a new science discovery that's extremely exciting for scientists. They were able to create a mutant enzyme that can recycle plastic in just hours. Right now, only 30% of the plastic that goes into soda bottles can actually be then turned into new plastic. And that new plastic is usually not as strong. With this new scientific discovery, the mutant enzyme is able to convert 90% of the same plastic back to pristine materials that can then be used to produce new high-quality bottles in just hours. Science community is extremely excited for this new discovery and anticipate that it can change the world of recycling as we know it. A pizzeria in Chicago has started producing PPE for medical staff. What is PPE? PPE is personal protective equipment that medical staff wears to protect themselves from the spread of viruses and bacteria. Now, pizzeria owner Dimitri in Chicago saw an opportunity because medical staff and hospitals were running low on face masks. He reached out to a couple of his engineering friends and consulted with them on how to make this happen. He was then able to get large sheets of acrylic and start producing face masks with his staff using his pizzeria's oven. How innovative is that? That is absolutely amazing. That's an example of the human kindness and compassion that is alive and well, and that's what I'm here to tell you guys about every single day. That was today's episode of Daily Good News. I want to shout out to Dimitri for thinking outside the box and using his pizza oven to create face masks for healthcare workers. Absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get notified when a new episode drops every single day. Make sure you hit that like button, then make sure you hit share. Share this with your friends, with your family members, with your co-workers. Spread the love, spread the good news. We need some rays of hope during this time more than ever. So thank you for tuning in. And if you want to read more, head over to LovEvolution.media. I am your host, Jessica, aka J Hart, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.